Hello, I'm Marshall, and I'm going to demonstrate how I quick sketch horses for you. This demo is sped up, but it's only sped up about twice, so it doesn't lose the individual strokes, which happens when you speed it up too fast, but it also doesn't go so slowly that you have to sit through it in 6 minutes rather than 3 minutes. These are experimentations. I do not know what I'm going to draw when I put the lines down, and I don't have any horses in front of me that I'm looking at. I'm just doing this from having looked at horses and drawn them, and this is to try it in front of a camera and see what happens. Watching this back, I am aware that I was being watched, and I don't think self-consciousness is the best state to be in when sketching. The best state to be in is play. Curiosity. The fun of exploring around with drawings we can throw away till we find one we get excited about. It has happened a few times in my life that a quick sketch has turned into a drawing that I like, and part of it is working with pen or any medium that when you put the line down, you're committed to it, and there's a kind of energy that comes out of that. I find it's as a safety freak who is very concerned with making a mistake, that doing it this way gets me past my comfort zones and sometimes yields a worthy drawing. Give me pencil and paper and an eraser, and I will draw and erase and draw and erase. And that has its own hazards, which is the inability to draw without that safety net of improving it in stages, until sometimes I revise it and refine it until I've made it worse. So there's no guarantee whether I'm careful or whether I'm wild, so I might as well get what feels wild to me for a while before getting careful. But to you, if you're really the wild type, this may come off as an old guy saying, "Hey, watch me dance. Ha-cha-cha-cha-cha. Is that something?" Anyway, there is my first round of horses for you. This page also I will do from imagination without reference, but with a difference. I'm going to dig in with these ink lines more precisely, even in the initial outlines, rather than starting with a light gestural outline, which is usually advisable. Making choices as I go about which position to put the next horse part into. Now, if I was going to take this further, I would look at horse manes and understand more about how they go and design this into some nicer shapes. It does seem like I am more comfortable here, committing to some of these outlines with ink early on, although I can see a draftsmanship issue even with those feet. The horse's feet splay out a little bit, as most feet do, but in these I've got both of the hind feet are pointing in the same direction. That left one should be swiveled a little away from us. Now, here I'm trying to find plain breaks and discern how much to define them and see if some cross-contour hatching can thicken the form. Now, on this next one, I'll start with legs that I'll imagine as human legs, as if they were running. And in retrospect, this is the drawing I ended up liking the most, and I think there were two reasons for it. One is that I'm working smaller, and this size happens to be comfortable to me. That's one reason. The second reason is that I wasn't concerned about this one. I was so aware that the other one was being recorded, and I wasn't all that happy with it, so I figured, well, this demo isn't going to work for Proko. I can just mess around on this next one, and it took away all the self-consciousness. I had to trick myself to get it. Sometimes the only way to get that, for me, is to trick myself into it. This is going to be a throwaway anyway. Don't worry about it. And then it just went in it, played as if no one was watching. So, yeah, I'm happy with that one. I like this side view for its graphic quality, but not too concerned with it here. Just trying to get a general pose of a horse rearing. If the line goes shaky, it's all right. I was doing these drawings late at night. Cha-cha-cha. You know, my favorite parts of these were the first lines. Those classic steel pen lines. I want to get good with pen and ink because I want to get good with this pen. This is the Manga G Nib. It is a popular nib, and for good reason. I love how it can go from thin to just the right thickness in a single stroke. I just love the whole feel of it. So we'll carry through with this because I'm going to take one and see if something can be done with it. Okay, let's assess where we are. Of all of these, I liked this the most for the potential to turn it into something. So I put tracing paper over it and tried to improve the line drawing a bit. And then I put tracing paper over that and experimented around with it. And then I put tracing paper over that to see if I could make it a little more gestural. I actually overdid it. And then I figured it needs to just be more three-quarter view. And so there is the three-quarter view. Now, of these four, I think that this last one, number 5 of the process here, offers the most hope. So I scanned that and printed it out lightly so that we can put vellum over it and do a finished picture. Let's do that. Okay, now that I don't have to worry about proportion or position, I can just enjoy these Manga G lines. Somehow watching it go faster than I actually did it makes me feel confident. And in case you're wondering, I was not looking at a photograph or a horse when I did these drawings, but I've looked at a lot of horses and a lot of photographs without drawing them, and I think a lot of learning to draw is to go back and forth between observing and then giving it a shot, and observing again, and giving it a shot, and we keep observing, and when we give it a shot, we do better. And when we give it a shot, we go through enough pain to prepare ourselves to observe more next time we look. And there's other things too, of course, and learning anatomy and learning the forms is one of the biggest parts of it. It's just the language of how to draw out of imagination. But that's all stuff that we've talked about elsewhere and many times. Not a lot of subtlety here. I am deeply repentant of refining things too much and stating things too much, and want to move in the direction of leaving a little bit of it undone. Let you do some of the work. It's just murder for me. You may not be that type. You may be the type who doesn't like to bring things to finish. I'm famous among some people for having brought things to finish that never should have been brought to finish. So here is part of my repentance to not finish this. It may be discouraging to say that one of the most important things about learning to draw is the ability to suffer. The ability to suffer through a lot of bad drawings before anything turns out good. I'm so sorry to put it in those terms. Ooh, nice tail, better than it was. So daring. You got what you came for? A quick sketch? Some process? Give him a shadow? And that's Marshall doing his quick sketch thing. Now, I should mention that it took some time to learn how to draw horses out of imagination. It's been fun. Horses, like humans, are enjoyable to study. I'm glad I got to do this. Thank you for watching. I hope there's something in here that inspires you to study what you're interested in and draw for the fun of it.